is this how this place was?
Yes.
So this is how they used to move into the condemned? What?
If they are about 50, I'm just using the number 50. There could be more, there could be less. If they are about 50, they will bring food for only 30. That is when you have to fight for food. So survival of the fittest. Before the ship arrives, the people in the condemned cell would have been then, 1/3 of them would have been then dead. They would just come and then pull them through the ventilation holes and then just drop them in the ocean.
Welcome back, everyone, as we move into part 2 of our tour of Fort Williams here at Nkommo Wo. In part 1, we uncovered the fort's foundational history. Built in the late 17th century by the British, Fort Williams played a critical role in the transatlantic slave trade, serving as a key point for the transportation of enslaved people. We also explored its strategic location on the coast, which made it vital in the defense of British interests in the region. Now, in part 2, we'll explore how the fort's role evolved over time, from its military function to its transformation in later years. We'll also examine the lasting impact it has had on the people of Nkommo Wo and the broader history of Ghana. Stay with us as we continue to uncover the deep and layered history of Fort Williams.
We have the condemned cell too as well.
Okay.
This is a step made during the prison time which can lead to the upstairs. But we have the condemned cell. So we have female condemned cell and then we have the male condemned cell. So let's get to the condemned cell.
But this looks like the back of the building. What's it with the colors?
So we have the red and the black being the prison colors. So during the youth residential center tour, they were taking the white colors. They were painting the fort with white. So when it was turned into prison, they used the prison color, the white, the black, and then the red.
So the pink is originally from where?
Prison time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the female or male?
This is the female condemned cell. So we have the shackle holes. So they were keeping the female that were aggressive and rebellious. They were brought in the condemned cell. And if they were about 50 or 100, they will all be in chains. And then they will just lock them up on the shackle holes. For the whole of the 3 months, because you are aggressive, you may try to fight some of the white and then escape, so they will put you in chains. They too were having only this as their ventilation hole. Any other hole you see, as I said, came about during the prison time.
That's actually a big hole.
So that's their toilet.
Also covered.
Yes. It was during the prison time they have to cover it. That's the wrong thing.
And it was just this.
Yes. Yes.
Has this place too been screeded?
Yes. With all the dungeons, it was a stone floor. With all the dungeons, it was a stone floor during the slavery time. So it was during the prison time. Even the plastering was done during the prison time. They were not plastering and then painting forts and castles during the slavery time, because they were saying white paint attracts enemies to the fort.
How is that?
Yes. So white things go far.
Oh, you can see them.
Yes. You can see that wherever you are, when you are at a far place, you can see. So they were not painting it.
Okay, so it was just the usual.
That's all. Bricks.
And you see there's also a male dungeon as well. Sorry, condemned cell.
So we are going this way.
Is this how this place was?
Yes.
So this is how they used to move into the condemned? What? No, is this actually what it is? This how they moved? These kinds of, this how they were transported to the condemned cells? But this looks like a place. Wow.
This is original. This is original. They have not done anything to the way here. This is original. You know, slaves were not fed with good food, so they will literally not become fat like you. Yes, they were slim, so they will just. And before you will be brought here, they will not just let you walk freely. You'll be in chains and ropes because you are aggressive. If they leave you freely, you know what will happen. So we are going. You can see the steps. Wicked steps.
Ooh.
So with the male condemned cell, we have two chambers. This is the first chamber with shackle holes, you can see them, and there are one ventilation hole. And then we have the second chamber with their shackle holes and then one ventilation hole. So with the male condemned cell, because they were aggressive, they were being punished all the time. Some of them being whipped every day. And then if they are about 50, I'm just using the number 50. They could be more, they could be less. If they are about 50, they will bring food for only 30. That is when you have to fight for food. So survival of the fittest, the strongest will get food to eat. So after 3 months before the ship arrives, the people in the condemned cell would have been then, 1/3 of them would have been then dead. They will just come and then pull them through the ventilation holes and then just drop them in the ocean. So those who survive in the condemned cell, together with the other dungeons, they will just march them through the gate of no return with their shackles and their ropes on. So we can go to the gate of no return.
So we're going to the gate of no return.
The gate of no return. As I said, those who survive with all the dungeons, they'll just march them with their ropes and then their shackles on them and then walk them through the gate of no return. Yes. Yes. So we are going to the gate of no return. So this is the original gate.
Original?
Yes.
So these are the original wooden gates that were installed at the time.
Yes, please. That's the original gate.
This is the back of the fort.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes. So it's the gate of no return. So you can see from here. All slaves that walked through these gates never came back. Either they die on the ocean or they arrive at their destination. So the moment a ship arrives, the ship will not come closer to the shore. It stays 1 mile from the shore, and a smaller canoe will carry the slaves to the ship. Because when it comes closer, because of the rocks, it may stuck. So on their way, we have what you call the middle passage. The middle passage, when somebody fell sick, they will just drop the person in the ocean because they don't have any cure to disease. Even in the fort, when you fall sick, they will just leave you there to die and then drop you in the ocean. There was nothing like cure then. On their way, when we have those, when there is shortage of food and water, they'll just sacrifice and then drop some of you so that they'll feed the strongest ones with the food left. When they are going, they meet any bad weather which will cause shipwreck, they'll have to sacrifice and drop some of you to make the ship lighter to move. So even those who were packed in the ship, about 280,000 people in the ship, it was not all of them that had their way through to their destination. Some of them died on the way. They couldn't make it to the journey.
I have wondered too, I mean, in terms of pricing, when I know those days what slaves were sold for, the amount and things like that might differ from today, but is that something that maybe has been calculated today? We can do an estimate.
Yes. So there was nothing like money when they started slavery. So it was barter trade system. The children were going for kitchen utensils like the sardine, tin of milk, the spoon, the mirror, and then the elderly ones, they were going for the gun and then the gunpowders. It was in the 18,000s that money was introduced in the form of pounds. And they arrive at a uniform price. That is, the women were going for 3 English pounds, and then the men were going for 5 English pounds.
We don't know what that estimate is like today, just to give people a fair idea.
Okay, so when we say 3 English pounds, it's maybe like 3 cedis then. Now 3 cedis.
Okay, so the 3 of the currency then is the same thing today. So if we are talking about maybe Ghana cedis today, we'll be talking about 3 cedis.
Yes, 3 cedis. It was not much money. And then 5 English pounds, we say 5 cedis in today's currency. And some were even bought with just calico cloth.
So Teresa is my guide here at Fort William. We're at Nkommo. We're taking a tour of this very fort. It's actually a very, very big fort, and so we're just getting a sense of all of the things. At least we've covered the ground floor, and now we want to go up and experience what it is like upstairs in this fort that is right here at Nkommo, also in the central region of Ghana. Come along.
Soldiers' apartments.
So this floor was entirely for soldiers, where they resided, or the other workers who were right. And I see that there's a last floor actually. What's on the last floor?
The governor's living quarters. And with the soldiers' floor, they were turned into offices during the prison time for the prison officers.
Are those wooden floors?
Yes, and they are in the original state. They have not been changed.
Is it okay to step on them?
Yes. Very safe.
Ooh.
Very safe. The roofings are the original ones.
Same wood,
yes,
same everything.
They have not been changed.
Okay. We have a last climb to actually do as we go up to the governor's floor. So this is the governor's floor. Oh, wow. The entire floor?
Yes. So this particular room is the governor's hall. That's the hall. Yeah.
Really looks like a hall of a governor, actually.
Yeah. So the wood, as I said, the original state.
Look at the windows.
About 14 ventilations for only one person, and then he'll keep about hundreds of people in that small dungeon with small ventilation hole. That's cruel.
Was this a library now?
No, after the prison was relocated, that they had to turn this place into a library for the community to come and then learn. But when they are coming, the children, the school children that were coming here, they were telling us they've been seeing the spirit of slaves hunting them. Some of the slaves that died there hunting them, so they stopped coming.
The children?
Yes, the school children. So they stopped coming. So during the slavery time, this particular one were for 2 soldiers that will watch over the governor.
So the governor's bedroom is the last one here.
This is the bedroom, and then we have his washroom being the last one. So this is the washroom. You can see on the
entire place.
Yes, you can see on the wall lots of showers, and then his tube for the water closet that he was using.
Really built for a governor. The size of even the washroom is unbelievable. Big, spacious, the windows everywhere. Wow. But you say now the children don't come here again. That's a very worrying and interesting account of. So what, these books are just here, wasted away?
Yes. They've stopped coming, so. And the library it belongs to a private person. That person has not showed interest again. That's why you see the books going waste. So this is the stone house. When you're able to give birth to a white man's child, you have to go there and then you stay there. So your conditions become different and better. So after the slavery was abolished, we have these 2 heroes of the town, Kuntu Blankson and Alex Ferguson. They bought this building from the slave masters, so it belongs to them and their family now.
Quite interesting. Did they have a chapel or anything like that here?
With Fort William, we're not having chapel because of the second Methodist church in West Africa, just right there.
That's the second what?
Methodist church in West Africa.
That building?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. We had the first one at Cape Coast, and then we have the second one at Nkommo Wo. That's it. So the governors were the ones going in there to worship, and then they will bring pamphlets and then share it to the slaves.
They were still worshiping God, but doing all these
They
things.
brought Christianity. They were the one that introduced us to Christianity. Yeah, we were doing our fetishes and then worshiping our smaller gods before they brought Christianity. This where they were keeping their ammunitions. That's the gun and then the gunpowders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a room down there.
Yes.
Teresa, now where is this?
So this is a harvested rainwater. Yes.
Okay.
This is what they were using then. They knew they were closer to a sea. So if they should collect the water from beneath, it would be salty. So they just had tubes on the wall, and then when it rains, it just collects into the well. So the water is not salty.
So this is still rainwater.
When it rains, it still collects into it.
It's a very big well, by the way.
And it's the same well that is connected beneath from the children's dungeons to the governor's living quarters, that he was able to use showers.
So this is it?
Yes. So that's the tube.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that at the back there?
Washroom.
Okay.
Yes. So with the women taking their bath twice in every month, and then the men once in a month, we had their washroom just right there. This for the women, and then we have the washroom for the male there.
At the other side.
Yes. Aminations. So that's where they were keeping the ammunitions.
Okay.
The gunpowder, and then we have certain fire which they attach to the canoe's bottle before it's blast. They were storing them in this particular room.
Wow. And what's this, by the way? Those are what?
These are latrines during the prison time.
Okay.
Yes, they had latrines for the prison officers and the prisoners as well. So the prisoners were now using the hole in the dungeons as their toilet. They covered it, so they were using these ones as their toilet.
Teresa, I want to say thank you. I'm grateful that you've at least given us a tour of this place and such a rich history of Fort William that we've learned from you. I'm grateful, and I want to say thank you for the work you're doing in helping to tell the story of this place, and also to encourage more people to come here. So thank you very much for making time to speak to us. Even at short notice, we just walked in here, but you've been more than willing. So thank you very much.
You are welcome.
So Teresa has been our tour guide here at Fort William, here at Nkommo, also in the central region, and it's been part of our continuous coverage of the forgotten forts that are along the coastal lines of Ghana. And as always, I believe that this episode of our Ghana Man series here on GhanaWeb TV has also been educative, inspiration. You've learned a thing or two. My takeaway from here actually is the children's dungeon, which we got to see earlier in there. Well, thank you. Maybe until another time we'll bring you some more stories, but remember to look for GhanaWeb TV on YouTube, like, subscribe, and click on the notification button so that the next time we post a video you are notified. My name is Echi Atiso. I've been doing this with a team. Sandra Obribia is behind the camera. I've been here. My producer is Gifted Tete, and our driver Kweku Sechiama. Thank you all very much for being part of this journey. Until another time, thank you and bye-bye.